Me gustaría saber cómo te defines tú mismo como director.
We would like you to tell us a little bit about you as a director. How would you define yourself?
Well, I would define myself as crazy. No. I guess I try to tell very ambitious stories that seem to be rooted in science fiction and a desire to tell a story about characters who go on a journey, who confront barriers and the space-time continuum. This is not easy. This is not an easy question to answer, and I apologize for taking so long to answer it. I think I just try to tell ambitious science fiction stories, and they're not easy to categorize, and they're not easy to explain in one sentence, or in, as I'm struggling to do right now, several sentences. But I think they're all stories of sacrifice. I tend to kill my lead characters. They all tend to die, which is troubling and upsetting, but they all tend to die for a reason. They tend to sacrifice themselves for a reason, and I would like to think that there's sort of a moral lesson at the heart of each film that involves sacrifice and sacrificing oneself for a greater purpose.
Okay. ¿Por qué crees que Donnie Darko no tuvo el reconocimiento que se merecía al principio cuando se estrenó la película?
Why do you think Donnie Darko did not have the recognition that he should have deserved at the very beginning when the movie was released?
Well, I think when we first screened the film at Sundance in 2001, people were confused and they were disturbed and alienated, perhaps, by the film. And when something isn't immediately digestible and comprehensible, the tendency, I guess, is to dismiss it, excuse me, or criticize it, which is often what happens, I think, maybe at film festivals with that kind of film, and luckily, it is the kind of film that stays with you, that stays in your mind, and it ages well. And I don't know why film festivals tend to not respond to films like that, but it's just, I think that's just the nature of the way that new media is now pushing into a place where something has to be judged immediately, where there isn't time to kind of digest something and think about it, But
¿Cuáles son tus referencias y en qué te has inspirado para la estética de Donnie Darko?
What are your references and what was your inspiration for the aesthetics of Donnie Darko?
A lot of it was drawn from my childhood experiences and my desire, I guess, to try to confront the system and to rebel against it. And there are obviously a lot of autobiographical elements in the film and in the lead character and his voice and his spirit. And I think from an aesthetic point of view, there are a lot of influences. Excuse me. David Lynch, Robert Zemeckis, James Cameron, the Coen brothers, and Terry Gilliam. A lot of the filmmakers that I discovered either in high school or in film school. I think there was definitely a pop sensibility that I wanted it to be a popular film. I wanted it to reach people via the pop music, the comedic elements. That I didn't want it to be an obscure piece of art. I wanted it to really reach people.
¿Echas de menos series de televisión como Twilight Zone o por qué crees que estas series de televisión hoy en día ya no se hacen?
Do you miss TV series like Twilight Zone, for example? Or why do you think these sort of series are not being made anymore?
It's funny you asked that. The company that financed the box, that put up the money to pay for the movie, made me sign a document that said I would not talk about that television show while promoting this film for legal purposes. I'm not allowed to talk about that television show.
Okay.
Because it would give them free publicity, and they don't want that.
Okay, no problem then.
But I love that show, and I'm a big fan of it.
Perfect. It's so clear. ¿Qué piensas sobre los nuevos formatos de cine y si tiene pensado grabar algo en digital?
What do you think about the new formats in cinema, and are you maybe considering the possibility of doing something in digital format?
Well, the box was shot digitally, whereas Donnie Darko and Southland Tales were shot on film. The box was shot on the Genesis camera system, which I absolutely loved, and I thought it was a more efficient device in capturing the imagery that we needed in the time frame that we had. I found that I could get 20 to 30% more footage, more takes, more time with the actors, and with the digital effects that we were doing, the CGI for Frank Langella's face, for the digital snow, for the digital buildings and cars, all that period 1976 digital imagery. The workflow of the digital imaging system was much more amenable to our goals, and it was also aesthetically I found very attractive. And I love film, but it's a difficult, challenging, cumbersome way to capture an image, and I think finally digital has finally caught up to film, and it's there.
Realistic,
Yeah.
Reality. ¿Qué piensas? No, perdona. ¿Por qué crees que son tus películas tan difíciles de entrar en el mercado de las medios y si ha tenido problemas para llevar proyectos a cabo por eso?
Why do you think your movies might find it hard to get into the market of major movies, and have you ever found it difficult due to that?
Well, I tend to tend to kill off my lead characters, and I tend to blow up the world, and that doesn't make people feel safe and comfortable. My movies tend to make audiences feel disturbed and disoriented and confused and emotional, and I think most mainstream moviegoers are used to going to see the movie that makes them feel very safe and comfortable, and that tells them that everything is going to be all right, and that the world is easy to understand, and if you just stick with it, and that's the dream that Hollywood has been selling the world for going on 100 years now. So I think that the kinds of films that I've made, the first 3 films that I've made, are always going to be a little, we're very much resistant to that dream and pushing against the system. But I found that they tend to age well. They tend to stick with people. And they want to revisit them and continue to digest and explore the ideas. So I'm very proud of the work that I've gotten to do over the past decade, and I am also now to the point where I'm ready to I think, tell a story that does have a happy ending, that does sort of embrace a bit more of that traditional Hollywood dream. If they'll let me.
Sí,
¿Todo bien hasta ahora?
sí, perfecto. Vale, última pregunta. ¿La banda sonora de Donnie Darko viene de tus gustos personales o está elegida especialmente para la película?
The soundtrack that you used, does that come from your own personal choice, or did you just pick it for the movie?
All of the music I put in my movies is very personal. It's absolutely the music that I listen to, that I am very emotionally attached to. All the music comes from a very, very deep emotional place. It's never chosen arbitrarily. There's a lot of thought that goes into it, and more often than not, the music is actually decided upon before we shoot the film, before the scene is even photographed. I'll play it for the actors. I'll let them listen to it. I'll put it in the actor's head, where the actor is hearing it. And I even do it before we even have the legal permission to use the song. And the producers are always saying, "We can't afford this." I'm like, "Well, I'm going to shoot it anyway, and we're going to try our best," and it usually works out. So I've been very lucky, and the artists have been very cooperative and supportive, and I'm grateful for that. And the music is probably my favorite part of the process, probably the most essential component to the process in making it feel magical and making it feel
To make it easier to enter inside the movie. So.
yeah, absolutely.
New projects?
New projects, yes, I've been working for the past 2 years on several new screenplays, original screenplays that are completely different than the previous 3 films, and I'm hoping to get one of them going next year. But I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to jinx it, or just leave it at that. But I've been working diligently on several things.
Perfect. That's all. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you.